to Henry's Blueshouse, Blues Talking, a regular Friday preamble before the bands play upstairs. Tonight we've got a man who I've worked with off and on, sadly mostly off over recent years, but we had an adventure together early 1980, I would think, when he was the front man with one of my favourite bands at the time and ever since, Willy and the Poor Boys, who deserve a lot more attention than they ultimately received from the media. But anyway, please welcome Roger Bromley.
Thank you, and good evening.
Now, as I remember, you grew up in a house with a jazz-loving father, I believe.
I did indeed, Jim. You're absolutely right there, mate. Yes, we used to, even back to sort of Jelly Roll Morton type records, and a bit of Louis Armstrong and stuff like that, initially. So I suppose I picked up an ear from there. My mother played the piano, but she wasn't a jazz pianist. She was a swing, typical Russ Conway type player. But so I suppose I got a grounding from that, and then I drifted into the skiffle thing when I was at school. And of course, a lot of the skiffle songs were based on blues songs, there was Leadbelly songs and things like that. So I picked up that, and then when rock and roll came along, and I heard Little Richard, that was what they call the light bulb moment. That was the most fantastic thing I'd ever heard in my life, and that sort of changed my way of thinking at some point.
So, were you playing at that?
Yeah.
So, were you playing, you played skiffle?
I was in a skiffle monkey.
So, how did that happen? Why did you start playing? Because you liked the music?
Well, I liked the music. I had to dabble on the piano when I was young. I didn't get into that. And when I was at school, the sixth form put on a concert party, and they did a skiffle group. And I went, that's what I want to do. So I got a guitar, my mum and dad bought me a guitar, and away we went with a bunch of mates like everybody else did. We started playing, doing gigs and things like that, on the bus, carrying the gear on the bus and things like that, up to town.
So fast forward to Little Richard, you being a guitar playing skiffler, you discovered rock and roll.
Yeah, and then obviously Jock Berry, and then of course away you go then really. And we had a rock and roll band beginning of the 60s, in the sort of start of the beat boom as it was called. And then we started digging back, I think, to where did this music come from. And a lot of it came from blues songs, especially Presley's first album and things like that. And you start picking up on that really. And we always had the melody maker in the house as well. And that was championing the London bands, like Alex's Corner, and then you had Cyril Davis splitting. And a lot of the early rockers played the Alex's Corner, like the Stones. We all got up and had a jam with them down at Water Street and things like that. And so from that particular point, the band I was in sort of run its course. Some stayed, some left. And we formed a more sort of soul type blues band, called the Soul Seekers.
I remember that.
A lot of people remember them, yeah, it's just quite good really. And that carried on for a few years, till we got to the sort of mid-60s. And we used to play this, as I was saying earlier, a blues club in Wolverhampton, the Ship and Rainbow Club. We were resident on a Sunday night. We used to alternate that with a band called the In-Betweens.
Do you remember the In-Betweens?
The In-Betweens, yes.
Remember? What do you remember about them?
The name.
Wasn't there a number of Slade in it?
It was, they became Slade, yeah.
Without the singer?
Yeah.
That's right.
And a couple of changes of personnel. Yeah. Jimmy Lee joined, and Noddy joined. That's when they became Slade, wasn't it? Ambrose Slade too, then Slade, that's right.
We'll come on to that. So you're a soul band?
We were solely bluesy. We were a bit of crossover. We used to Wang Dang Doodle and stuff like that.
Coco Taylor.
Coco Taylor, yeah. So it wasn't soul as people call it now. It was a bit of a cross between soul and blues. And then we just graduated more towards blues. And then in the late 60s, when we got to this sort of point of doing the Ship and Rainbow, we became all blues.
Was that specifically a blues club?
Yeah, it was basically. And the in-betweens weren't quite as bluesy as us at the time, but they were pretty bluesy. And then that ran its course. And then the next thing, people left again. We changed it to a blues band called Crosscut Saw, named after Albert King number.
Of course.
And that ran a few years, and then towards the end of the 60s, it was progressive, wasn't it? Music, progressive. And we then swapped into travelling Red Wing. We were a sort of semi-progressive band at the time.
Did Travelling Red Wing ever play Henry's?
We did, we played Henry's Blues.
Well, we compiled a list of bands Henry's Blues House, and I'm sure that they're on it.
Yeah.
Would you like to check, Chris, on that book, please?
What page is it?
Go to the index.
Oh, you know your way around, Ronnie.
It's
We list all the bands that play.
Appendix C, I think.
In fact, the drummer in the band that we've got now, who I introduced you when I came last time, he was the drummer in Travelling Red Wing.
And what happened to them?
You
You actually played one of the great New Orleans piano player singers.
I played the two of them actually.
Who was the other one?
Well, Eddie Boyd and Champion Jack
Eddie Boyd in New Orleans.
Well, probably not
I
quite.
thought it was Minnesota. Anyway, Champion Jack Dupree.
Yeah,
You played with him.
yeah.
One of my heroes.
So we liked him. Man.
Did he like you?
Yeah, he was all right. Yeah.
God, what did he say about you? I know what he said about you.
Well, what did he say?
He said, you're a great guitar player, you're too fucking loud.
Yeah. That was Eddie Boyd as well. The band said the same bloody thing. Yeah, too loud. Yeah, but we are louder than them, aren't we? Yeah.
I blame the Rolling Stones for that.
Yeah, probably right. Yeah. Well, we like it loud, don't we? You know, we just that thing.
Please, don't encourage him. He's playing tonight.
Oh, I was encouraged. Well, he's one of my favourite players. He knows that. Yeah.
What am I looking for here, Jim?
Red Wing. Red Wing? Travelling Red Wing. Or is it Red Wing?
Travelling.
Right, let's reorient ourselves. I keep interrupting you.
Is it not there?
So,
You have to rewrite the book, Jim, you've forgotten.
Some chapters you've forgotten.
Bob,
I'm just going to take Brian to the stage. He's lost.
I heard of that 5 years ago. He was lost. Where are we at? Red Wing. Champion Jack Dupree. Tell me about Eddie Boyd. He's a bit of a shadowy figure. With a huge hit record with 5 more years. Yeah.
He was an interesting guy, but they're all very, they don't talk to you a lot, you know. We played with Muddy Waters at Wolverhampton College, and they sort of go in a room and they don't talk to you, they talk to the white boys at that particular time. They keep themselves to themselves.
You're opening a whole new can of worms here.
I don't know how many can.
Well, the fact is, I worked with these old black guys for many, many years, and I know why they didn't talk to white boys, because they thought we didn't want to talk to them.
Probably right, yeah.
And why they got that feeling, I have no idea, because they were heroes.
Don't forget, you've got segregation and stuff like that. We never know anything about it. You know, that's probably why, isn't it?
So, the first American bluesmen you mentioned were Champion Jack and Eddie Boyd. Were you aware of other blues players through recordings before that?
Yeah, I used to buy those Festival of the Blues albums. And one of the first ones, or maybe the second one I bought, was featured the Buddy Guy Band as the sort of house band. First time I met the blues and stuff like that. Absolutely amazing. And again, after the moments in your life when you kind of wish you could play like that.
So was there a guitar player you tried to play like? Or you copied licks from?
Hubert Sumlin, I would say.
Really?
Harley Wolf's band.
I've got to interrupt you here. He was one of my favourite ever players, and nobody ever mentions him.
I know,
He
he
was
was a great player.
Terrific.
Yeah. I saw him with Harley Wolf at the town hall. Yeah. It was great. Absolutely great. Quiet man,
Yeah.
but a wonderful player. Yeah.
So how did you get from there to Willy the Poor Boys?
We're at the 70s, at the end of Travelling Red Wing.
Yes.
And that particular time, I'd had enough then. I just felt like a break, and I actually went on the folk circuit for a couple of years, bits and pieces, and that fizzled out. And then I had a call from, this is not particularly blues, but it's still relevant to the Birmingham scene. I had a call from a certain Mike Sheridan.
He's the man. Yep.
And we formed a band with Dave Pritchard at the Idle Race.
So who played guitar? Both of you?
Dave played bass actually.
Wow.
And we were almost a semi-cabaret band at the time, because that's what Mike wanted to do. And then that lasted a couple of years, and from that, Dave and myself, and the drummer at the time, Dave Griff,
Yeah, good player.
and we dragged in Greg Masters, who was also in the Idle Race, and that was the start of Willy and the Poor Boys.
So did Fritz play guitar and you both play guitar there? Because Greg played bass, right?
Yeah,
So both of you played guitar?
yeah. And then,
That must have been killing.
well, what they did in Willy and the Poor Boys, we did.
Yeah, I know.
Because then Greg left.
Was Fritz in Willy the Poor Boys?
Yeah, he played slide.
How do I know?
Come on,
I've
come
just
on,
recorded
you
them.
managers at one time, Jim, be fair.
It was a few years ago.
Yeah, I know, yeah. So from at that particular point, Greg left, and we got Phil Treon on bass, and that was the best Willy and the Poor Boys line. And that was,
Has anyone heard them? Of them? There's a man. Cracking band, weren't they? Yeah. If we had a band like that today, knock houses down.
The Nitecrawlers are one.
I don't know yet. I don't know for another 2 weeks. That's my last line. Put the Nitecrawlers in.
so that was, as you know, was a good band, wasn't it? You know?
Cracking. Tremendous band, yeah.
And
I think you got the first tracks on the album, I think, haven't you?
yeah, we have. Yeah.
Which you always put the best tracks at the beginning, right?
Yeah. And then we met up with Jim. In fact, we were called Little Willy at the time, if you recall.
That's right.
And it was when we did that recording down the battle, you organised that, and we were in on that. Because just to step back a bit, when you did the barrel organ, you came in on a Tuesday night, which is a real crap night, particularly at that point in time, and you worked your way up. We ended up at Friday. Saturday was the very top spot, but we ended up doing the Fridays. And that was when we started working with yourself, wasn't it? Yeah. And Jim organised the Live at the Barrel Organ double album with all the bands that played there, and the Railway as well. We did that one as well. And we worked for you for quite a few years.
Yeah, that's great.
And a good time, yeah.
Well, with him and Pritch playing guitars, it had to be hot. Had to be.
Yeah.
Well, what happened to Willy and the Poor Boys?
Ah. Well,
He's going to play me. I know
no, I'm not going to blame. All bands, so it's like life in it. They just have a bit of a lifespan. And then Phil had to leave over business commitments. It was a family business. He had to take over the business. He just hadn't got the time to do it. So he left. We got another bass player in. And it was never the same then. It just didn't quite work. And then Griff decided he was going to leave and form a soul band.
Oh.
So we had another drummer, and it just disintegrated at that particular point. The whole sort of momentum had gone, and it just lost its drive, you know.
But you've had a fairly colourful career after that.
Sort of, yeah.
Well, Roy Wood for a start.
Yeah. Well, we were doing a bit of a silly thing. We were backing Malcolm Stent on the radio and things like that.
Wow.
And
Was Jasper Garrett involved in that?
No, this was Malcolm used to do all the Barmaid's Arms and stuff like that. And Roy came along to a couple of Christmas shows we did at the Town Hall, just as a feature, it was like a guest star. And he hadn't worked since the demise of Wizard. And he said to us, would we be interested in going on the road with him, if he was thinking of starting to work live again? So we said, yeah, just our band. And we got a sax player at the time. We were going a bit more for a poppy then. And he said, well, I want to get some brass and all the rest of it in. So we said, well, why don't you just do it as like a 4-stroke 5-piece and recreate the move stuff, you know. But he wouldn't do that. He wanted to be more wizard orientated.
More Roy Wood.
Yeah. So in the end, that's what we did. Yeah. So I had a couple of years with him then, at the beginning of the 90s doing that. Yeah. And then we also, at the same time when he didn't work, we used to run the Poor Boys, it was called then, which was me. Phil was back by then. Griff was back on drums.
Right.
And then we had a chap called Michael Lavender on keyboards.
What did he do significantly? He did something, didn't
He edited the Brum Rock books for a start, and he had a recording studio.
Ah, that's
And he used to play with the Soul Survivors as well. So we carried on that for a few years, and then again people left and it went down the pan. And then I had a blues band called Blues Review 25 years ago, which ran for a couple of years, it was me, it was Steve Dolan, who used to be in the Trevor Burton band.
Yeah.
He was on bass. Mike Kelly, who played with Spooky
Terrific drummer.
on drums, obviously, and a guy called Mark Bristow on guitar as well. He used to be the Main Street Dealers. Yeah. And we ran that for a couple of years.
You're an encyclopedia of Birmingham rock, you know that.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Well, you really are.
And then after that, I've
He
done.
throws away now. Does anyone know who Mike Kelly was? He
Yeah,
died.
brilliant.
Tremendous player. One of the finest drummers this country's ever produced. Would you
He's
agree?
an exciting drummer. Very,
He went.
very much like Ginger Baker.
Yeah, but swings more. Ginger a bit rigid. Kelly swung.
He did swing, yeah.
He went to Spooky Tooth, Artwood, Spooky Tooth. A lot of recordings with Steve Winwood. He was Steve Winwood's favourite drummer. Great player.
Right,
You just throw his name in just like that. You didn't even cross yourself.
Lovely guy.
I know, yeah. He just rang me up for a gig. Somebody said, "You're looking for a drummer? I like what you do. Can I come for you?" And I said, "Well, yeah, why not?" It was great, yeah. And then that packed up. And I've done nothing after the next sort of 10 years or so. And then,
Sorry, did nothing. You didn't stop playing.
now I just do bits and pieces, like, you know, but nothing like in a regular band or anything like that. Just odds and sods. Playing with people. I said, "Do you want to do a gig or help them out?" Or this sort of thing. And then 2 years ago, an old friend of ours, back in the 60s, when we played, he was in Trouble in Red. We got one of the versions of it. Bass player called Jim Hickman.
Yes, good player.
Good player,
Singer.
great singer, he sing with Zookil.
Sorry, did he die recently?
Yes, and that was where our band came from actually. He was talking to our drummer Chris in the pub in Gordon, but he said, like, "Why don't you start playing again?" Because Chris had packed up playing at this particular point. And he said, "Well, I don't know. And he said, "You ought to." He said, "They always used to call me Brol back when I was
Spelled?
a kid." And
How is that spelled?
BROL. It was short for Bromley. Like
Oh, I
that.
see. Sorry to be
He
slow.
switched these up. Yeah, which is-
Another gig coming in.
Don't know
How much does he pay?
how much commission does he want. So, how was I here?
You're telling me.
So Jim was talking to Chris in the pub and he said, "I know somebody who might be interested in playing again." So I've been talking to Jim as well. I said, "Why don't you ring him up?" So he rang me up and said, "Are you interested in doing anything?" So I said, "Like what?" And he said, "Well, we could form a blues band." So we formed a blues band,
Called?
the Nitecrawlers. Hence the t-shirt.
So Jim was at the beginning of that, was he?
But he was in the band now. He was working for the little band at the time, or with the little band. And lo and behold, 3 weeks later, he died. Which was very, very sad.
What? A much missed man.
Absolutely missed it. He still travels with us on the side of Chris's drum.
Well, that's good. So who are in the Nitecrawlers currently?
Well, there's Chris Lloyd on drums, Roger Hudson on bass. We've got Teddy Briefs, who's only just joined us in the last 6 weeks, playing second lead and slide. And then myself on the front doing most of the vocals. And we also work occasionally with a horn section, which is Simpson, trombone stroke trumpet.
Yeah, he doubles on trombone and trumpet.
Yeah.
That's a difficult double.
He's clever lad. But we don't always use them. It's just, like when we do Henry's, we're just playing as the four-piece. You know.
Perfect. What about repertoire?
Well, what we've done is we've tried to go back to the early 60s blues band type material. Back to when they used to copy Elmore James and stuff like that, Dust My Blues. And then we've sort of carried on through the decades, and we're doing stuff by Joe Bonamassa. We've got 3 or 4 Joe Bonamassas in the set. And I think doing that, and then a bit of Chuck Berry here and there, and just to jump it up a bit there.
And it goes right back to your roots, doesn't it?
It goes right back, and I think when you hear us, Jim, although I know you've heard a couple of live CDs, I think you'll find we are quite similar to Willy and the Poor Boys.
Well,
in that sort of style, because they've covered a lot of.
And still a 2-guitar lead.
Yeah.
This might sound like a lovely question, it's not just curiosity. Are there any originals in the set?
Not at the moment.
I find that good. I hate people who write rubbish songs and take great credit. At least it's original. Well, being good, I always feel, is better than being original. If you could write better songs than Chuck Berry, then maybe you should do your songs.
You used to do a couple of originals in Willy the Poor Boys.
I know you did. I was arguing about that.
You always argue about everything,
There's also quite a lot of credibility to anybody who picks up one of the original masters and redoes it and makes it their own.
That is very important.
Well,
when you do an original song, you do not have to do it like the original performance. You're quite right.
Yeah, you just take the basics of the song, the bones of the song, and it should develop them with the band, because everybody then contributes their own little bit, don't they? You know, it's not just one person. I know, say, I'm doing the singing or whatever, so that follows what the style that I'm going to sing it. But I never try to copy the exact way that the particular artist would sing it, because you can't, can you? You know, you've got to try and put your own stamp on it in a way.
There's no point whatever in doing a duplicate
No.
of another song.
You know, otherwise you're just a tribute band, aren't you?
And how many millions of songs out there have been redone and redone and redone,
Yeah.
and redone brilliantly and
sure,
masterfully. So
Not just in blues.
I
isn't it?
think it's a
All
great
kinds of
credibility
styles.
on you to,
That's right.
and in one respect, I think you're paying respect
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the original person who did it, but you're doing it your own way.
And usually they're the master version.
I think that's great. By the way, I'll shut up. Sorry.
Well, come and see us and see what you think. You know.
I would definitely come and see you.
No, what you say is very relevant. One thing you really demonstrate tonight, Roger, is you're a serious bluesman. Every band you're in is a bluesman, except for that soul diversion you had when you were drunk all the time.
Drunk pretending.
Oh, well, it's going to be the only odd occasion. Yeah.
I think it's tremendous man has stayed playing the blues. And all his down times when he wasn't doing things, you weren't doing really is waiting for the next blues band to come along, or the next opportunity to come along and play the blues.
Yeah, keep going.
And I keep going back to you and Eddie Boyd. Tell me a bit about Eddie. Eddie Boyd is not a huge name in the blues. He spent the latter part of his life in Holland and died far too young, as most folk do. But he's for 5 long years was one of the great blues songs ever. Tell me about working with him.
Well, we weren't leaving on the one night.
Well, that was for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Just tell me in 3 minutes.
Yeah, well, there isn't a lot to say really, because you have a very quick chat with them before they start, and then they just say, well, I'll tell you the key and we'll start.
They told you the key that day.
Just give you the key.
What the old guys didn't. They just
I know they
started.
didn't have started, yeah. Do you remember when we did one of your jazz festivals and we did Shuggy Otis?
Yeah.
We brought Shuggy Otis to Cannon Park.
Yeah.
Now he wouldn't even come on. He said, I've seen you guys play. He said, would you open up? we'd already done a set. Would you start the set up? We said, oh, you ought to start like. He said, no, you do. But he never told us what numbers he was doing or what key he was going to play. He just had to sort of drift in behind, you know.
Well, no,
But Eddie Boyd was, but he was quite structured actually like that. You know,
Jack Dupree was structured.
and he was even more so, yeah. But they weren't, they used to give you the key, yeah.
Shindy was very competitive.
What's your name never gave me the key? Sonny Boy Williams.
You played Sunny Way?
I played on the same show. We used to do quite a bit of Spencer Davis group at the Twisted Wheel, and they always got the bum hand, the backing, the band, and Hooker was the worst because he couldn't play. He couldn't play a 12-bar blues. He just stomped in wherever he was going because he'd never been used to playing with bands, had he? You know.
Do you know what he's talking about?
Johnny Hooker.
No, Johnny, a bar letter came to an end when he finished the lyric. Normally, 12-bar blues, they come to the end of the fourth bar, the lyric maybe end at 3 bars and 2 beats. Hooker was just going to the next chorus.
Yeah.
And you have to just listen, not to the music, to the words.
That's right. Yeah. Nightmare he was.
And you got live albums out of this, did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
That must have been online then.
I mean, Hooker was tremendous, really. He had such a drive.
Feel. Fantastic feel. Fantastic feel. That's why we've got ZZ Top in it.
Yeah, exactly. But working with Sonny Boy, Sonny Boy was there were 2 Sonny Boys. He stole the name for the first Sonny Boy. And he came to England, based in London, brought in by Marquis Martin Agency, run by John Martin, who still writes for our jazz magazine. And his favourite band to back him was Spencer Davis Group. So he decided to go and live in Birmingham. And you could go into a pub, one on Summer Row on the corner by the Birmingham College of Food and Domestic Art. And you see Sonny Boy there at the bar.
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
We stood in line and we were waiting for him to go.
He could drink, he could.
Oh, rest.
I remember going to one of the bars, we were playing with them at the Twisted Wheel, and it was about 6 o'clock at night, and he was absolutely pissed. He wasn't on until about 11. But when he went on, he was stone cold sober.
Where was the Twisted Wheel?
Manchester.
Oh, great. I was trying to find it in my head in Birmingham somewhere.
No, Manchester. It's the all-nighters there.
This is very interesting stuff. I'm sure there are some questions out there. Roger Bromley, it's yours.
You keep on referring to this live barrel organ. Yeah. Can we have a bit of background on that? It was quite an occasion.
Well, it wasn't a occasion, yeah. It was organised by Jim.
What was it?
Did a complete week of recordings. I think there was probably, 3 bands a night, don't you?
Yeah.
4 bands a night?
3.
The whole week was recorded, and then obviously edited down to it came out as an album, a big Bear album. No, yeah. Sold in its... What?
It sells dozens.
It's sold in
It's selling now, funny enough. Second-hand copies, yes. Well, the three bands on it who subsequently had hit records. One was the Quads, who had There Must Be Thousands.
Yeah.
One was Carol Decker,
yeah.
who later hit with the Lasers, wasn't it?
What?
Tapow.
It was Carol Decker and the Lasers.
Carol Decker and the Lasers on our gig. But they hit the same band called Tapow, and she had lots of hits. And the third one, I wouldn't get confused about this, Maggie and somebody had a band called Swansway had a hit with, and another band they had a hit with. So the 3 hit acts out of 12 bands. It wasn't too bad, was it?
Pretty good, yeah. Pretty good, yeah.
Just a shame it wasn't on Big Bear.
Yeah. But it was a great week, wasn't it? I have to say it was great.
So I'll tell you what, I lived in a caravan on the car park of the barrel roller for a week. It was great. It was a recording unit and the caravan.
About half the size of this room, wasn't it?
Yeah. We'd run into a bunk upstairs, wake up, mix last night's work. The band was sort of arriving, we'd stand, check that night, and do it all again. It was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, you did a great job. Great job.
Questions?
What was the most exciting period since you started working? playing in like 14. What for you was the most exciting?
They've all been exciting periods, really. They all start and sort of get up to a point, and if you don't get any further at that point, they fizzle out further. I think Willy and the Poor Boys was probably one of the best, or most exciting, because we did some good live work. We did a lot of colleges.
Not yet, not.
And that sort of so you get some good reaction, I think, like that. So we had some good times. That was one of the best times. We had some good times with the blues review as well, although they were only small. And we're starting to have some good times now. We only started for a bit of work. And then we started getting gigs, they just kept coming in. And they're still coming in. We're on a bit of a roll at the moment, which is great, isn't it? Jim's given us some gigs at the Jazz Festival, we've done the Oxford Blues Festival, we've done the Newcastle Jazz and Blues Festival, so we're quite happy about that at the moment. Couldn't be better.
I think part of what you were asking, and I always love to ask this of musicians, is can you name 3 bands or musicians that inspired you to take up a musical career?
Initially I was saying, well, I was playing at the same time as John Mayall's Blues Breakers were starting, but when I saw them, I was just knocked out because Eric Clapton was the man. It was virtually now they came to Wolverhampton, they played at a place called the Blue Flame in Wolverhampton, which became, Mr. Agent used to run it. What was that club Red called? Used to work.
The Lafayette.
Yeah, Rennie used to work there. When I saw John Mayall's Blues Breakers, I couldn't believe it. And then when Clapton, I saw him with Peter Green, and he was even better. He was even better. No, he played a very short war with John Mayall. I saw Cream a few times. They were fantastic. But they could be good or bad, as all 3 pieces can be.
I'm glad you like the Willy and the Poor Boys days, because I think back then we thought we were going to crack it somehow. I think we all believe we're going to do something special. But as you said, if you climb and climb and climb, that's great, but when you level out, it's easy to use your words to fizzle out.
You know, y'all are in our history. You are the history of music that we love.
Yeah.
And they're, you know, total respect.
I think it's a nice way to finish, except let's just say that not next week, but the week after, the Nitecrawlers are upstairs here. So please be there, tell your pals what an interesting fella Roger is, and let's say